you know her. You've seen her a million times. She's one of the most recognizable structures on the entire planet. Of course, I'm talking about the Statue of Liberty. And today, we're going to dive deep into her story. Right, we've all seen her standing tall in New York Harbor, a backdrop in countless movies and photos. But what's the real story there? Beyond that iconic image, there's a fascinating tale of friendship, mind-blowing engineering, and just so much symbolism. So let's get right into it. We're going to pull back the curtain and find out how this incredible monument was even built, what all its intricate details really mean, and how it became the global symbol it is today. Okay, first things first. Let's rewind the clock to the very beginning. Because to really understand Lady Liberty, you gotta know that her story doesn't just start in America. Nope, it's a tale of two nations. You know, a lot of people just assume the US built the statue. But get this, she was a gift. A massive, generous gift from the people of France. The whole idea was to celebrate a century of American independence and, that enduring friendship between the two countries. So the big day was in 1886. That's when she was officially dedicated. Yeah, it was a little late, about a decade after the centennial it was supposed to commemorate, but hey, better late than never, right? It instantly became this powerful symbol of the shared ideals of liberty that connected both nations. All right, now for the fun part. Let's take this icon apart piece by piece and really look at the incredible artistry and the genius engineering that brought this monument to life. It took two brilliant French minds to pull this off. The artistic vision, that came from the sculptor Frédéric Auguste Bartholdi. He designed her majestic form. But the complex internal structure, the skeleton holding it all together, that was engineered by none other than Gustave Eiffel. Yep, that Eiffel. The very same guy behind the Eiffel Tower. How cool is that? And the sheer scale is just breathtaking. From the ground all the way up to the tip of her torch, she stands a colossal 305 feet tall. That's about 93 meters. This wasn't just some statue, it was a monumental feat of 19th century engineering. But her design wasn't just about being big and impressive. No, nothing was accidental here. Every single element, from her crown to her torch, is absolutely packed with intentional meaning. So let's break it down. The torch she holds high? That's a beacon of enlightenment, lighting the path to freedom. The tablet in her other arm is inscribed with a pretty important date, July 4th, 1776, marking American independence. And the 7 rays of her crown, they aren't just decorative. They represent the 7 continents and the 7 seas, a sign that the idea of liberty is universal. Okay, so this massive statue was designed and built in France. But that brings up a huge question. How did they get it all the way to New York? Well, that journey itself is an incredible story. I mean, seriously, it was a monumental logistical puzzle. You can't just put a 305-foot statue on a boat in one piece, right? The solution they came up with was just as ingenious as the statue's design itself. Here's how they did it, and it was a masterpiece of planning. First, they built the entire thing in France just to make sure every single piece fit perfectly. Then, they carefully took it all apart. We're talking over 350 individual pieces, packed it all into 214 crates, and shipped it across the Atlantic. Finally, workers had the painstaking job of reassembling it on its new home on what we now call Liberty Island, like the world's greatest jigsaw puzzle. So when you picture the Statue of Liberty, you think of that distinctive green color, right? Well, she didn't always look that way, not even close. When she was first unveiled, Lady Liberty had the shiny reddish-brown gleam of a brand new penny because, well, she's made of copper. The green color we all know today is actually the result of decades of natural chemical reactions. That green layer has a name. It's called a patina. It's the result of a process called oxidation, where the statue's copper skin slowly reacted with the air and water over the decades. And here's the really cool part. Far from being damaged, this patina actually forms a protective coating that shields the copper underneath from corrosion. It's like natural armor. So for our final section, let's explore how the statue transformed from just a Franco-American monument into a truly universal icon. Over the years, her importance just kept getting officially recognized. In 1924, she was designated a U.S. national monument. Then, 60 years later, in 1984, her global significance was totally cemented when she was named a UNESCO World Heritage Site, putting her among the world's most treasured landmarks. But her influence goes so much farther than official titles. She's become this powerful fixture in our culture, right? Showing up in countless films, artworks, and books as a kind of shorthand for hope, freedom, and the American dream. And ultimately, that is her enduring legacy. What started as a gift celebrating the friendship between two nations has evolved into something so much bigger, a global symbol of freedom and democracy, recognized by people absolutely everywhere. So, as we close this out, I'll leave you with a question to think about. In our constantly changing world, what does this enduring symbol of liberty mean to you? Thanks for joining me for this one.